Glad to hear that. So, what was driving the four Kodiak car like?
The Kodak car, it was
Yeah,
some of the
Kodiak.
nicest race cars I've ever driven. And they were at a time in their racing that the engine builder had had a lot of success, but they were trying to race the dyno instead of the tracks, I think. And we blew up, I don't know, 30 some engines or 20 some engines. We just had a lot of engine problems. And it was a shame because we had a good race team. The cars, like I said, they were some of the nicest cars I've ever driven. Larry was a good owner. Just couldn't keep the engine running. They blew up a lot. They really stepped on their foot a lot, I think, by not going and leasing engines from Hendricks or Childress or somebody else when they had that strong a race team.
I see what you mean. Didn't you finish in the top 10 in the four car at one point that year?
Oh, I think we had a few of them. Yeah, we whenever we finished decent.
Good to hear.
Very often. Hard to finish with a rod hanging out the side of the motor.
Good way to put it. So how did the ride with Bill Davis come into place?
Well, there was an owner, a young guy named Alex Mexican, that started a truck team when Toyota came back. And when Toyota got into racing, I was one of the first ones they signed. They wanted a veteran. They wanted some rookies. They wanted a mixture of talent for their efforts. And so I took the ride, and this kid never paid me on time. It was a complete train wreck. I mean, this guy was messed up. And I said, I'm done. I ain't doing it no more. And Toyota says, well, where do you want to go? And we'd been friends with Bill and Gail Davis. We knew them just casually in the trailer park and so on and so forth at the races. And I said, I want to drive for Bill Davis, Bill and Gail. And they said, well, we don't think Bill wants to do a team. And I said, well, that's what I want to do. We can figure it out. Let's do that. And between Angie and I and the Toyota folks, we talked Bill Davis into doing a truck team. Then he ended up with 3 of them.
And it paid off for sure, because look at all the success.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So Benson came on after you?
Yeah.
What was that like, having him as a teammate?
Johnny and I always got along pretty good. You got to understand that that's back when multiple teams under one roof. We were trying to get our head around that. And they kept stuff from us. We kept stuff from them. Wasn't really very fair to Bill Davis. He was paying the bills. He hired all these brilliant people to run these race teams. And you got teams competing against one another and going to the shop at night and doing stuff. And it was a little mismanaged, I think, when it comes to that. Nowadays, it's an open book. Now, when you get to the racetrack, you're racing. But nowadays, everybody knows each other's setups. They do a sim program now. There's so much more technology now than there was then. So that part was a little bit tough. But Johnny won a lot of races, and so did I. So, at the end of the day, Bill Davis had a very successful truck team.
Definitely. So what was running the seasons like where you were winning all those races for Davis? Was it really blessed?
It was the most fun I've ever had racing. I had a lot of fun racing for Richard Childress, especially in the trucks. Not quite as much fun in the 31 car, unfortunately. But Bill and Gail were personal friends on top of being our boss. And we had so darn much fun. We We laughed together, cried together, won together, lost together. It was just a really, really good situation.
That's good to hear. What was that season like in 2007 where it seemed like you finished in the top 10 every single race, if not won the race? What was that like?
We had 5 wins that year. I'd planned on retiring after that year. It was going to be kind of my mic drop. We had the championship one. We only had to finish 16th. And somebody sabotaged the truck on pit road. They got to the truck and they loosened the left rear wheel. And we were leading, set on the pole. We're leading the race and the left rear wheel falls off. So very unfortunate that that was able to happen in this day and time, that it was an impound race. And so the trucks were out there with nobody around them for a while. And somebody got to it and sabotaged it. And sad way to win a championship, really sad way to lose one.
Okay, just a question. Was it a sabotage by accident or was it on purpose?
On purpose.
Oh, and do you have any idea who it was? Or
I know exactly who it was, but I can't prove it. So there's no sense in talking about it. It's gone. It's behind us. It's just very unfortunate that in this day and time, first of all, that NASCAR let that happen. Second of all, that we as a team should have checked those lugs because it was an impound. We didn't never think somebody would do something like that, but they did. So cost us the championship.
I never knew about that, but yeah, just unfortunate because that was your season, no question to make it.
Yeah, that was a great season. But we went on. We won 3 or 4 more races after that. Drove for Randy Moss. Had some fun over there. That team was on its way out. It was kind of a shame. Eric Phillips was wonderful to work with. Wonderful crew chief, a wonderful man. When we lost Eric, that place, I mean, it went downhill fast.
Yeah, that's
the funny part of it though is when I left that truck, we were finishing 5th or 6th every week, sometimes 10th. They started putting other drivers in it. They started running 25th where that thing should have been running. So that was kind of an ego booster for me. It made me feel good to know that it wasn't me.
Yeah. Now that you brought that stuff up, I must ask, you come into 2008 and Johnny Benson has a year similar to what you had and won the title. And the later parts, you and Benson decided, you weren't going to continue your relationship with Bill Davis Racing. How exactly did that play out?
We didn't. We were told the day before Christmas that we didn't have jobs anymore. Bill Davis was shutting it down. And both of us had plenty of opportunity toward the end of the season prior that we could have got in first class rides because we were very successful. And just got a bomb dropped on us.
Okay. So let me be clear.
We did not want to quit racing for Bill Davis Racing. They shut the team down.
Okay, so it was because the team shut down. The reports are incorrect, right, on what it was reported?
Yeah, Johnny and I didn't want to quit. Neither one of us did.
Okay. So, yeah, I just read an article where it said that you and Benson were not returning and parted ways, but it looks like the reports were incorrect, so.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. But I can't blame you. If I had a team like that, I'd stay there for my whole career. You know what I mean?
I would have stayed there a few more years anyway. But we're still good friends today, which that's the most important part. We're still good friends with Bill and Gail Davis.
Good to hear. Pretty cool. So you went to Randy Moss the next season?
Yeah.
Okay. And you still had the 5, right? As your number?
Yes. Toyota paid for our motors and my salary. They really they really did Randy Moss Motorsports a really, really good deal, and just screwed it up. That's all I can say. This guy just screwed it up.
Okay.
Done a wonderful team.
All right. How did you get your cup ride with Jermaine in the 60 car, and what was that like? Although I believe it probably wasn't a good memory.
No, it was a start and park. It was junk cars, basically Hendrick throwaway cars. And Bob and I were good friends, and he knew I could qualify. And so Mike Hillman said, we need to put Skinner in here because he can get us in the race. And it was kind of a start and park deal. So not one of my times I'm proud of, but we were making a living doing the way the rules were and what the pay was to start the races, that it was good for Bob and it was good for Mike. So we did it for a while, and I got to the point where it was too demeaning for me. And I said, I didn't start racing to do this. So I basically resigned.
Yeah, I can't say I blame you. I spoke to a previous driver. I don't know if you know Tony Ave. Do you know Tony Ave?
Uh-uh.
He's a sports car driver that used to compete in road races in NASCAR, and he told me something similar. He said he left NASCAR because he didn't want to be a start and park driver.
Yeah. Smart move.
Yeah. Was driving for fast lane racing in those two races better than the 60 car?
Yes. Frankie was trying to do the right things. He's a racer. I don't have nothing ill to say about that other than it was a start and park deal. And still friends. I enjoyed doing that. Enjoyed working with them. Wish we could have found enough money to race, because I think we could have had some success.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So when did you hang up the helmet as far as your racing career?
2012 is when I said enough's enough. And then we just did some vintage racing, some late model racing. I've won a few late model races in my son's cars. Won Bristol. Bristol is kind of my final mic drop. And then my son talked me into running another race this year, last year. And I finished second in that race. But I normally won when I got in his cars.
That's pretty cool. So your children owns teams too?
Pardon me?
Your children own some race teams too?
Yeah, my oldest son owns a race team now.
How's that turning out so far?
He does a lot of development drivers, and he's really, really good instructor. And he's had some success. They won the championship. They won Speed Weeks a couple times, so they've done okay.
Pretty cool. That's good to hear. So what causes are you active in nowadays, aside from your military thing?
Which what?
What causes are you most active in, next to what you said earlier about military veterans?
Well, that's really kind of our main deal, and we do a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I really won't talk about, but we still worry about our service members, and we still try to take care of our service members if we can.
Good to hear. We all need to honor the sacrifice. And I've said this, we need to honor the sacrifices made by military men, firemen, and even police,
Yes, we do. Because without them, we're in trouble.
Without them, we're in trouble. And yep, so that's really good that you're a part of that. And so what does your future look like?
Well, we're doing some consulting. Angie has a voiceover business, and she does events for people. Some of my consulting is in the RV industry. We do some influencing for people. We We're currently working on a project that I can't talk very much about, but if it happens and it gets funded, we'll be hard in building a big luxury RV resort and helping develop basically events there and bring in talent and have music and different events. Hope that happens because it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll tie me up for about 4 years, and then I don't know if I want to do anything after that.
All right. I wish you all luck in that because that sounds really cool. What exactly is an RV resort exactly?
Well, it's a resort for large motorhomes. And we do entities. They have a big clubhouse. They have pickleball, tennis, big swimming pools, hot tubs, events. They do golf tournaments. They do. It's just it's a lifestyle. It's we call it adult summer camp, but it's just a lot of good people getting together and hanging out. A lot of people are either semi-retired or retired, and it's a neat lifestyle. We really enjoy it.
Good to hear. So yeah, that's all I have for now, but I want to thank you for appearing on the show.
All good. Well, thanks for having me. It was an honor talking to you.
No problem. And in a few months' time, if you'd like, we could do a follow-up whenever you get your resort off the ground. Would you like that?
Absolutely. Got my fingers crossed. Hope it happens.
I hope it happens too. So everybody, check out Mike Skinner at this YouTube channel. And we'll see you next time on the next episode of Stories from Motorsports.